Depending on where we live, when we turn 18 or maybe 21, we become old enough to legally use certain substances. Party! It feels like a rite of passage to be able to purchase and drink alcohol or to smoke weed if it's legal, but many of us find access to these drugs before we become of age. Why are these substances so fun to use? When they enter our body, our brain is flooded with dopamine, a chemical messenger that sends information around the whole body and regulates things like our heartbeat, our emotions, our memory, and sensations like pleasure and pain. The feeling of being buzzed or high lowers our inhibitions, our ability to act normal in a relaxed and natural way. You could also call this the calmness of our state of mind. All of us have unfavorable personality traits. Maybe we're shy, uncomfortable with physical intimacy, overthinkers, or maybe we're just perceived as unpopular or not attractive enough that we secretly wish was different. As humans, we naturally compare ourselves to others who get more attention, are funnier than us, or speak their minds more freely. Many drugs make us feel calm. With our lowered inhibitions, it almost feels like we gain a superpower that tunes out our ego and lets us be free. And it feels amazing, which is why drugs are dangerous. I assume you've never heard of any stories about positive long-term effects of drug use, right? It's because drugs create a dependency. Addictive behaviors like consuming drugs, but others like eating too much sugar, gambling, or watching too much pornography, social media, even video games, numb our brains. Rather than fixing our issues, it masks them, making us temporarily feel like they don't exist. When you sober up, not only do your problems come back, but you also have new problems like reduced dopamine production. Your brain has been getting way more dopamine than it needs, and it signals to your body and brain to stop producing as much, which makes you feel like you need it even more. This quickly becomes alcohol dependency, and you can't feel good without it. With the desirable trait of numbing our negative thoughts and emotions, it's accompanied by the numbing of positive aspects of our life, like rational decision-making, cognition, motivation, visual perception, balance, creativity, and having a healthy body and immune system. That's a lot of things. Frequent drug use is much more appealing to those with low self-worth. Those who don't instinctively feel that they're worthy of love, have a very active ego spouting anxious thoughts in their heads, thoughts like, what am I doing with my life? I feel like I should be doing something more. I can't flirt with this girl because I'm afraid of being rejected. These thoughts exist in people with low self-worth and is the reason why they seek drugs and alcohol, so they don't have to bear with the thoughts in their head all the time telling them that they're not enough. Drugs and alcohol are undoubtedly fun to use, but it's important to understand moderation and to have people in our lives that we look up to that hold us accountable and let us know if they think they're worried about us. Your ego will always tell you, I'm not an addict because I've seen someone else who drinks more than me, so I'm fine. It's important to find things in life that stimulate our dopamine in healthy ways, ways that have positive long-term effects on our life. Eating vegetables as snacks, joining a sports team, reading or listening to informative podcasts, meditation, which isn't ever fun, by the way. It's amazing to maximize your calmness, but it's not something people do because they're like, I love meditating, it's so fun. People who frequently numb themselves are out of touch with reality. They're perceiving the world in a heightened or diminished state. Sometimes this is what makes them funny or likable. They're driven by instincts of pleasure and are unaware of their own internal emotional state because it's so numb. Remember, if you're going to drink alcohol, do it responsibly. Have fun, but don't make it a contest. Don't think that the amount that you can ingest is something that you should brag about, because you're basically bragging about how low your self-worth is. Somebody might think you're cool, but it's definitely not something to be proud of, and it's terrible for your body.